Okay, so let's go over today's trade recap. I ended up taking one break even, which really should have been a win. So I mismanaged that. And then I took one win on Wham. I'll go over why I closed it early as well. I think it makes sense, especially well, I can only show there, okay, whatever. Can only show that, but so very simple. This many days of expansion, this is PSP, right? On YM. So I'm just expecting internal range liquidity, right? With weekly moving high first. The only thing is not super ideal is that we are very close to optimize, especially on ES, which I'm not gonna show this like I didn't trade ES. Very close to optimize. So it kinda can make sense for us to expand higher. But either way, to get PSP, so I just really just want to see as this SMT would pierce this high hold, and then we'll confirm the um PSP on the hard time frame. But really, what I do here is I actually traded an NQ lower, or it's like this was advanced spirit discount in a way. Um, so I was gonna be targeting like potentially even this. Yeah, I guess this could have been a pretty good target, like this for a gap, or this hourly, right? Honestly, ideally we get a little bit of deeper retracement. So I was potentially even eyeing on this, but yeah. So we'll just mark out this hourly gap here. Kind of random. That's where we reacted. So I don't know. Yeah, just like low of the day, right? These. We're just gonna like track this one. So we have this right here at open, or market open, that is. And so it's like this. And in a way, if you consider this like if you put the SMT with high today, in a way it's like this. The only thing is it's not synced. Right? In a way, it's like kind of a two-stage, right? Where this is the current high of the day, we take it out, and this also just trades into a gap. Right? So already have this. I'm pretty sure if I pull ES, I think this also like it's a gap on ES, so we get also this. But here, right? So we trade through the previous high just because it's not really a swing. It's like yeah, we just trade high first, right? So that's why I'm kind of disregarding this potential. It's just what are we doing? We're still trading above previous high, and we expand away. We we tap into this gap. So this how we consider technically to take this trade. Um, or, which is with YM. It's kind of weird, right? Because like arguably this is the high today. Like you can probably even say this, not even this high. Right? So we're trading above that while still maintaining this. Yeah, it's kind of weird. So like not the best things, but it definitely makes sense for the driver to expand lower. Take a low today, put in a new at least put in a new low today, especially because at open NQ is the weakest, right? So I mean yeah, let's go over the NQ trade. Recent on the 30-minute here. And we're gonna get rid of this because I didn't really use it for the YM trade. It's more so here. So we trade into this hourly gap, right? So this candle here, that's in support expansion, the way it closes. So we must take out this high. Again, there's no SMT here. I really don't care though because like it's a been discount. Right? Right. Salsa is technically a little bit. I think ES might have been. Let's see. Oh, wait, it's not here. Okay, below ES. I think ES might have been in EQ at this point. No, it's actually kind of OT. Yeah. Okay, so not the best advanced premium discount sequence, but still there. So what I traded here is just this V shape here. And I usually do wait for our asset to V shape, but just look at low of the day here. Like low of the day is 1800. We create a failure swing here. Or, just how I mean it's not fair swing, it's a relevant swing. So there's logic to one break even, but yeah. So what I do usually here, if I cannot get enough RR to this draw, what I'll do is I'll try and get around 1 hour to this draw, to this low, so I can go break even. Just literally what I did. My fill was around here. I think bodies might be different. I'm in Q. Anyways, it was like something like this. And so what I did, I was going for 3R. Yeah, it would actually been this hourly gap. Right, so I was going for a fixed 3R because ideally we get that 4-hour gap filled, and I cannot get 2R with this low, so I have to go for 3R according to my rules. Yeah, I enter on this candle here. Then we tap into this low, and I go break even. And to be fair, this is a relevant swing to where if I'm wrong, we're gonna reverse off with this low. It's just ideally that we are synced, which is why usually I would wait for this to be synced. Like I'll usually wait for M to CSD, which if I did, by the way, it would be on this candle, like 42. Yep, on this close. So I could just short market, yeah, literally, because like we're just retesting this entry. It's just not the cleanest, but as you can see, we just left equal lows. So, yep. So there's this. I could have taken this, or I could take this, which is what I did. Ideally, here I just hold, because we should probably just like if it's the true reversal, we're gonna respect this gap. We shouldn't come back up here. What we can do off of this low, which is exactly what we did, we just retested this gap, this 3-minute gap and this 5-minute CSD that we then created. That's literally what happened, right? So yeah, I didn't manage this properly. I could like arguably you don't even have to like go break even. You could probably even enter on this gap, like even once we take this low. And then look at this, right? When do you go break even? We leave equal lows with current low today. It's not a swing, but still. Come back up, right? And then that's where we sync. We are in sync now. We're expanding lower. But once we see SD here, where it's on the 3-minute, 5-minute first, that's where you can go break even, and that's where hit 3R. So definitely just mismanaged by me. I should just like really just disregarded this low, really. Because if you go back, this is also something I was eyeing potentially. I mean, something that really added confidence to this trade. I'm gonna activate it. I don't know why it's turned off. If you look at this, the 4-hour candle, especially in this asset, right? Very, very small wick. It's like just one-sided bearish. It's like one-sided bearish. So even if you hit this low, it can only cause a retracement. And you see how close this is literally at the around the opening price of 6-hour candle. Right? So that's the opening price right there. Right. See how close it is to opening price? This low can cause a retracement. We should just never go all the way up here. Right? So this protected by a CSD. And we also have a gap. So it's exactly like what this low was used as. It was used as a retracement to potentially resync the markets as well. We trade into this low, we retrace higher, right? We still don't expand higher because like why would we expand higher, right? Then look at this, right? We leave perfectly equal lows with the low today. We go higher, right? So you see this, I'm like, perfect. This is gonna be a very good CSD. And then we CSD lower, right? And it delivers. So this would have been pretty good. The only thing is like, I'll be completely honest, it's not the cleanest to wear like well, I'm just using high today as like as this candle's high, right? I think wait, I don't know, I think it might be on the 4-hour though. It might be it's not the same, I think. Like that's what I'm saying. It's like not okay. Why the fuck do we move it back all that much? The high today, right? It's like here. It's this candle's high. So I think we do have it like this. Yep. It's like this, right? So it's like one stage. But it's two stage because this has a string above the high, the previous day's high, and this has a isn't. So it's like a weird two stage that I used. I mean, to be fair, you don't need to use a two stage here. It's like idea you do use it here, which it's on the daily. So yeah. So you don't need to use a two stage here because this is a event during discount, right? Because we are in a gap. So yeah. So there's the reasoning for this trade, which honestly would have been the better trade. And I took this. I should got my fill was pretty bad. Like, I should just short. Like, ideally, I just short this. Put my stop on like actually I go over. This close is also 5 minutes as the so I just used this 5-minute bodies, which were exactly at that. Yeah, so this happens at the same time. So ideally, you enter on the close again, and that would have actually granted me to 3R right here. There is. If I enter exactly the close wherever, like if I'm seeing this and we start consolidating here at 3R, I'm just closing it. I'm just gonna close it here. Really, because like the spears is slow. Right. So where I entered is actually here. It's not here. I just like was like, okay, I need 3R over this low, and that was my entry right there. So yeah, ideally enter the close and kind of missed on this. The reason I missed is because I was eyeing C out longs, which I'm not. You're just not gonna go over that. Like, it's like would be too much. Really, just not interested. It's like exactly what UV took, but he took on the 1 minute. So I was waiting for potentially a 3-minute gap to be filled to get to R with the same draw, with the same sequence. So you can just go and watch like his trade, this trade. So let's go over why I closed the trade. Early. I closed it at like 2R. Yeah, like around here at 2R. On this, around this candle's closed. Yeah, that's 2R. I mean, I'm gonna try execution as well. So, the reason it closed is because we were forming a 2-stage. And like so again, I'm looking at this. I'm like, oh damn. Right. Actually, we already had formed it, and this asset was expanding. Never mind, it already had formed. Not even with this close. See how we get SMT? It's like inside this key level, like 4-hour gap as well. We get SMT like that, and this candle's PSP. Now the only thing is like this candle is not a C2, so really we shouldn't like expand unless we hit this low, and we don't have SMT with this low, which is very weird. But I was looking just like completely disregard what YM is doing, looking at Q, right? CSD, retrace into a gap right here. You do inverse it, but like still, do we get continuation lower? No, right? We CSD higher, and honestly, it was like this, right? It was around this time that closed it when we had SMT fill like that. We'll see lower on the lower time frames. Where we had it like this. And then we just retraced inside of this 5-minute gap. Look how small this gap is. And we just did immediately inverse it. Look how small it is. The fact that we didn't inverse it immediately in this candle and we broke that, it just tells me that this asset is probably likely to also expand higher. Now, again, not the cleanest signature to do that, but still it does, right? So once we get this, this is like, once we CSD higher, let's see it. And that occurs actually as well. Actually, it happens on this candle, literally the one that closed in. Yep. Okay. But once we CSD, yeah, look at this, right? Once we CSD higher in this asset, even though it's like fair swings, look at this. Look at this, how close this asset is to this high. Right? And we're expanding away from this low with a trend switch. Like it's ideally this trend switch here, to be fair, if they're both gonna trade the same draw. But what can we assume is likely to happen here? At least I'm just looking at in Q, by the way. I don't really care about WHAM. Like if I only look at WHAM, we're going like I would assume we'll just go hit this low. Like pierce this low. Like we're so close, we should, right? But what is like NQ likely doing here? NQ is likely just going higher to hit high the deck. Right? Like since there's a bunch of fair swings, right? Which is like that's why this trade's not the cleanest, to be fair. I don't know. It did play out. It made sense for the driver to expand lower because every asset was just synchronized. And yeah, I mean, we're putting this right. But now this is SMT break. This is the trend switch to break the SMT, right? At a reversal. And like so, look at the 4 candle as well. And right, look how small of a wick it has. It's like perfect to break this, to go ahead and break this SMT. So like once I saw this is like V shaping, right? This also just V shaping, and it's gonna go for this high, and it's gonna go for this high, and it's gonna go for this. So since I'm assuming Enki is gonna go for high today, then this becomes a question of, am I likely to get stopped out while NQ goes for high today, right? Because we could potentially then get, let me remove this. What we could get is this asset, which is kind of what we got here. It just didn't deliver. So this asset trades, and also like there's a reason why it didn't deliver. It's because the 4 hour didn't support expansion. So we need a new 6 hour, right? That's why we wait for 12. So this could be, all right, this high today. This also could be like this, right? This candle in itself is PSP, the 4 hour it is, right? So this would be the 2 stage. So if we're going to deliver lower, it would have been this, right? Well, what are we likely to do? I think he's going to go for higher today. Have a deep retracement on YM, right? I'm not assuming YM is going to have like small ass wick inside this 30-minute gap. All right, that's definitely just not going to happen. We're going to have pretty deep retracement. So assuming this was the candle that brought price lower, which is probably going to be a retracement on NQ because the 4 hour doesn't support it. Assuming that was the case, then look at this, right? My entry is here. If I had the perfect entry, look, right, that would have been a break even. So that's how I discretionally manage this. It's because it's very likely we got a deep retracement, and then we could either deliver lower or not. Like very simple. Like in this case we didn't, right? But yeah, like this trade, honestly, I just mismanaged this so bad. Because like I thought, okay, like if this odds, because I saw YM, like of course it just CSD higher, and just spending a lot of time above this. Right, right, see how like how we back up here quite a bunch of times. It takes a long to CSD. So not the cleanest thing sure there. I would say the 5 minute looks fine though. 5 minute just like, yeah, it looks pretty good. Looks very good. This CSD. Oh yeah. That was it. Not the best training day, to be fair. This framework was, especially this on NQ, wasn't the cleanest. This I can definitely see. This is just pairing freezer price. Let me see the hourly. Yeah, okay, so we actually did close above it. But again, I just see more so DSS, like, as a manipulation. This is the manipulation for me, right? It gets very close, but it still supports expansion. It just doesn't deliver. Just consolidate afterwards. And NQ just seeing the short rib. So I mean, yeah, that was it. Very simple, actually. Okay, so I actually just forgot to share executions for this, but so I'm redoing it. I'm just not redoing it. I'm just gonna show execution. So yeah, that's my short again, just a retest there, and I got stop loss break even. And this was my short, and this fill like around here. See, it's placed lower when break even here at this low, and that's where it closed it around that kind of close. So yeah, that's gonna be it.